strange track. I have chose the long road that leads me out to God knows, so I can't stop right now. Even the good stars can fall from grace and falter, lose their faith and slide. But I can't get an ocean that's deep enough for my day. It's the first of the ascension. It's a sad way that we've flown after the storm. And her last words, where I was only thinking of you in our golden days, I was a slave. Well, now it's time to sound your voice and capture what you're after. My ship was sold right up the river, but I'm not going down here. This journey isn't over. It's a long way to the house of Fitzcarraldo, and her last words were I was only thinking of you in our golden days. I was a saint. Stars can fall from grace and falter like lap dogs who shroud their mystery. And her last words, or I'll see you down in history. It's the only way that we can go. I shall eclipse you. It's a long way to Fitzcarraldo. And I don't want to wait for you.
That slope may look insignificant. What's gonna be our destiny?
Tell us your name.
My name is Nathan Mack. That's M-A-C, by the way.
What kind of music did you grow up with?
So I grew up with loads of different kind of music. I think, we were actually talking about this the other day. The first single I bought was Eiffel 65's Blue, fucking tune. And then I loved Fatboy Slim until somebody told me that it was uncool to like DJs. And then I started liking Nirvana, right? Because my mum listened to Nirvana and I grew up around it and all that. But the secret music that I loved listening to as a kid was Meatloaf. And even to this day, I love Meatloaf so much.
Live or studio?
Studio.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely studio. Because, you know, filming as well. It's not just recording audio, you know, like on a movie set or doing some sort of dramatic music video. Studio. Yeah, for sure.
Favorite genre?
Favorite genre?
One word.
Hyphenated word. Cinematic pop.
Grand. What motivates you?
Loneliness.
Best thing about the circus?
I think the history of circus is probably the best thing about it. It's the thing that people don't often think about, the history of circus, but if you're in the circus world, especially if you're in the traditional circus world, your history is so important. And some of the most spectacular things that you could never imagine being done have been done by people. Like it's the most extreme people can be. That's kind of what circus is really about, is the absolute commitment to the impossible. It's probably the best thing about circus.
And what's the worst thing about circus?
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say. I think the worst thing about circus is partially one of the interesting things about it is that it attracts very unstable people. It attracts extreme people, and what happens is, like, you get some beautiful moments out of that, but you get a lot of weird toxic stuff in that as well. So I think circus has a tendency to attract wonderful people and terrible people.
Best venue that you've played in?
Grand Canal Theatre was pretty amazing. That was pretty amazing to be on that stage and play there. But I actually think I had more fun and enjoyed the space more in the Smock Alley Boys School. Like having the two windows there, having the brickwork, having the sort of spiral viewing platforms. I think the Smock Alley Boys School is probably the.
Who would be your dream collaboration?
So I got 3.
Okay.
4. 5. I got 5 dream collaborations, right?
Quick fire.
3 of them are musical, 2 of them are circus. Okay, so the 2 circus ones is a group called 𝙏𝙃𝙚. This is a fucking fantastic circus group from Canada, who've done beautiful, beautiful shows that I used to watch all the time when I was younger. The other one is a group called 𝙏𝙃𝙚, which is another Canadian circus group, and they had a show called Traces, which was the show that made me want to be a performer on stage. So if I could work with those 2 people, I mean, it'd be nice to work with Cirque du Soleil, sure, but you know, that's after I'm dead and they can use my catalogue like they do with the Beatles. But anyways, 𝙏𝙃𝙚 and 𝙏𝙃𝙚 are the 2 circus ones, and then musically, Imogen Heap, Kate Bush, and then I'm torn. We're going Bjork. We're going Bjork.
TikTok or Insta?
Pinterest. That's my no. I don't know. I'd say TikTok. Weirdly enough, it gave me things like Dirt Man. Do you know the song Dirt Man?
No.
It's like keep a little dirt under the I keep a little dirt under the pillow for the Dirt Man.
Okay, quick fires. Lost or found?
Lost.
Journey or destination?
Destination.
Morning or night?
Morning.
Write or perform?
Right.
Ooh, favorite film?
Favorite film, Moonstruck, which is Cher and Nicolas Cage playing off each other. It's perfect. Or After Yang, which is Colin Farrell in the future, which is always great.
Have to check that one out. Anything that you'd like to see changed in the Irish music industry?
Yeah, I'd like more support for venues. I think, to me, venues, they're kind of the core of the music industry, and you need a diversity of venues. I love the Workman's Club, but it's so similar to Grand Social, it's so similar to Whelan's. I feel like there's no venues for, like, there's no smaller venues for things like classical music. There's not really a lot of diversity in venues for things like opera, so then it becomes less accessible for the public. If you had like a tiny venue for an opera singer that was smack bang in the middle of Whelan's, you'd have an opera scene that's a bit more thriving. I think a bigger diversity of venues is probably the thing I would like to see the most.
Okay, now we have a question from Ganma.
What is an underrated album or EP that I think is perfect? I have no idea. My album. God, I don't know. I actually would answer my album because I think my album is underrated and it's fantastic, but I want to give somebody else's an answer for that. There's a jazz album from a man called Art Farmer, and the album's called On the Road, and I feel like I've never heard anybody talk about it, and it's wonderful. It's so good. That he's just such a good player.
Okay, and do you have a question for our next act, who will be the last act in season 2?
I do, but only if they promise to not Google the answer. Okay? I'm gonna ask you right. Can you tell me why certain cultures write from left to right, or from right to left, or from top to bottom? Like, why do we have these differences in writing throughout the world? I went on a little trip to the Chester Beatty Library the other day, and it dawned upon me that I have no idea why. They don't know why. I won't Google it. I'm more interested in finding a person who knows the answer than I am in finding the answer itself, but I'm asking the question.
What was your latest release?
My latest release was my album, Started Something Blue. I released that in 2022 on the day before my birthday, which was the 2nd of September, because I wanted to have it out before I turned 30. So that's why I did that.
Where can we find you online?
You can find me online at nathanmacmusic.com. I've got my own website, baby. Yeah, I mean, I'm also on all the social medias, meaning Instagram and TikTok, and nowhere else. Oh, and YouTube. But it's at Nathan Mac Music.
And is this the greatest show?
It's the greatest show.
Life will never live until it dies, and a heart will never break until it tries, and a boy will never fall until he flies. The past tense is still present in my mind. The past tense is still present in my mind. 'Cause I'm not sad and I'm not lonely, but once upon a time you would hold me. And I'm not mad, no I'm not angry, but once upon a time we were happy. We were never read until it's turning, and the book will never end until it's burning, and my sentence never served until I'm learning. The past tense is still present in my wording. The past tense is still present in my wording. 'Cause I'm not sad and I'm not lonely, but once upon a time you would hold me. And I'm not mad, and no I'm not angry, but once upon a time I was happy. Oh, I was. Once upon a time you would hold me, and I'm not mad, no I'm not angry, but once upon a time I was.